Y'all, I just got this message while I was dropping my daughter off to school. And I was riding through the school zone. You know, in the school zone, you can only ride 15 miles per hour. And I remember back when I was a kid, I couldn't see the signs. I didn't understand anything about the road signs or road rules, anything like that. But I would always ask myself, why is mama driving so slow all of a sudden? Why is she driving so slow? Like, what's going on? Like, she's normally driving fast. Why is she driving so slow? And I got older and realized that, oh, you have to drive slow in these areas because kids are crossing. You want kids to make it to school. Kids are trying to learn something. They're trying to get to some place. And that means that you have to move slowly to allow them to get there. And that was a revelation and a word for me to somebody who is asking yourself in this season, why are things taking so long? God, why does it seem like you're moving so slow? Why are things going so, why are things not going as they usually are going? And you have to acknowledge that you're a child. You're a child to God. So my thing is, you don't understand the road rules. You don't understand the signs. You don't understand what's going on in this moment. But one thing about it is, not only do other people need to get someplace, that's why he's got you moving slow. Because my thing is, your speed is going to either push or pull somebody away from getting to God. The speed that you're going is either going to help or hurt somebody else. And it's also because this is a learning lesson for you. This period that you're in right now is a learning experience for you. So while you're asking God and you're being mad that things aren't moving faster, you're used to things moving fast. You're used to things moving at a certain pace. And now that things are moving a little slower, you have an attitude. You're overwhelmed. When you are in the back seat, I gotta realize that I was in the back seat worried about what was going on in the front seat. What the heck? Get out of God's business. I'm sorry, y'all, but the revelation just keep hitting and hitting. Get out of his business. How you in the back seat worrying about what's going on in the front seat? We are crazy. At the end of the day, I need for us to realize that we do not know what we think that we know. Only thing I knew from the back seat was that I'm used to things moving fast. When you on the road, you can ride at least 25, 30 miles per hour. I didn't know what that was, but I know we was driving faster than what we was driving in there in school zone. It's not always going to be the same speed at every single point. And let's be clear. Speeding fines are doubled in the school zone. Let's be clear about it. So you mess around and you speed, and it's time where God's telling you to slow down. You mess around and speed in that time. I promise you, you're gonna end up doing something that you're gonna pay double for. You're trying to speed through this and find a man. Listen, you're gonna find the devil himself in the flesh. Have you going back 30 steps, even though God don't move in circles, it's going to have you up here repenting and working on stuff that God has already tried to pull you through, already delivered you from, but now you got to go through that whole cycle again because you rushing. Same thing with jobs, same thing with money, same thing with your mental health, whatever you want to call it right now. All I'm going to say is that a lot of time, 99.9% of the time, let's be clear, everything that God did in somebody's life, when God called somebody, when God worked in somebody, he worked in them so that somebody else can get blessed, so that somebody else can get saved. There is not one person that God saved just for them. When God did a miracle in that Bible, he did it, and he told that person to tell nobody, but they told everybody, listen, that it was not for them, it was for the world. God didn't tell them not to tell nobody just because he wanted to be silent. God told them not to tell nobody because he knew they was going to tell somebody anyway. You trying to hold the miracle in that God has told you, it makes you want to tell it even more. So my whole thing is, I keep saying that, you got to understand that God is wanting for you to be patient with somebody in this season. This season where you want to move fast, God is calling you to be patient with someone else in this season. Doesn't it seem like that's always the thing? God is consistently working on our patience. God is consistently working on our ideology and mindset about timing. God is consistently working on how we think about and how we manipulate situations, how we try to manipulate him to do what we want, when we want, how we want. And he puts us in these seasons where we got to slow down so that we can look again. When you have to be at 15 miles per hour, where you normally used to drive at 50, 60, 70, 80 miles per hour, that gives you time to look around. That gives you time to reflect. That gives you time to think. That gives you time to worship and rejoice. That gives you time that you normally don't have. That where you ever been driving, going 50 miles per hour, and all of a sudden you've been driving for 5 minutes and you have no recollection of how you got from this point to that point? That's because you're moving too fast. There's never been a time in my life where I've been moving 5, 6, 7 miles per hour and not thinking about what's going on. Because at any moment I need to be able to press on brakes if something come in front of me. You move it when you move too slow, it allows you time for God to do different things, and you can clearly see it, you can clearly hear it, you can clearly feel it. So one, you don't know or understand the signs, so get out of the front seat and just chill in the back seat. You're along for the journey, you're not driving, so just chill out. 2, right now, the pace that God has you moving, the pace that he has you in, has you being patient for somebody else. It has you allowing them to get a testimony, to get to school, to learn more about him, to learn his grace and his mercy. This testimony and this pace isn't just for you. It's for somebody else to learn that God moves slowly sometimes, that God has to talk to you slowly sometimes, that God has to deal with you slowly sometimes, that God has to give to you slowly sometimes. It's a testimony to somebody else. And 3, it's not only a testimony to you, to them, but it's to you. It's a testament that sometimes you need to be patient and take a look around. Sniff the roses. Stop being so used to everything moving so fast. Stop wanting for everything to move so fast, and be willing to understand that the journey, it comes with ebbs and flows. It comes with ups and downs. It comes, you're not going to understand all the time. You're not going to know the answer all the time. You're literally going to be in the back seat sometimes. Sometimes you're in the back seat. Sometimes you're right next to God in the front seat. Sometimes God makes you drive the car. He takes you out the wheel and makes you drive. The car's still going. Let's be clear. And one thing about this car, baby, this car can drive itself. I can go hands-free. Amen? Still going. You see the traffic in the back, but it's still going. Absolutely. So you have to realize that this journey is not necessarily about you and what you can do and how quickly you can do it. You have to realize that there are some seasons where you're going to be in the driver's seat, and some seasons you're going to be in the passenger seat, and some seasons you're going to be in the back seat, some seasons you're not even going to be in the car. You're not even going to be in the car. But know what season you're in. Thank God for the season that you're in, regardless if you understand or not. And be willing to accept the assignment. Be willing to accept the assignment. Sometimes the assignment is leadership. Sometimes the assignment is guidance. Sometimes the assignment is to sit back and watch so that you're ready when it's time for you to guide or when it's time for you to lead. God! Listen, let me get off here. I'm going to get off here because I'm going to get to running and I'm in a car. I'm already doing 80 and I'm not supposed to be doing 80. I'm supposed to be doing 70. I'm too excited. All right. I love y'all. If y'all got something from this, type amen below. I will see y'all later. Bye.